Choose your character.
All right. Welcome back to the Geekset podcast, the only podcast that blend hip-hop culture and geek culture together. I'm your boy Deuces, and this is One-on-One with Deuces, the place where I speak with creators, curators, and people that you should know. And listen here, I always say this, but that we got a special guest today, but we truly do. But I got to announce it the way that I told her I'm going to announce her on Twitter. So now announcing of House Shanelle, first of her name, protector of the straw hats, college graduate, plugger of manga, a VFX mage, the one and only Krystal Shanelle. How are we doing today, Krystal?
Hello, hi, I'm doing great. Thank you so much. How are you doing? How are things in your realm? I would like to know first.
This is like become a thing of yours. I've watched enough of your interviews where you start interviewing the host, but I'm doing great.
I do that. I do that. Yeah.
I'm doing great. This culture of ours is growing so rapidly, and there's so many people doing so much dope stuff, and the support that we give each other has been so dope. So I've been loving to see that. So it kind of transitions to on my platform. Shout out to Noriega and Drink Champs, because they've made it like they're trying to make it catch on to give people their flowers while they're here. Now, I know you get this a lot and everything like that, but I need you to understand how much and how important you are to this Blerd community, because you are somebody, one, you breed positivity. Your worth ethic is amazing. Your energy every time is one of the things that you talked about in a previous interview, is like the way people see you online is the way that you are in real life. And you're just so encompassing and just an all-out great individual. And your work, it stands the testament of the time. So from my viewers and listeners and the community itself to you, we want to make sure that you know that you are appreciated, and we love everything that you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. I know, for real, I appreciate it. It really means a lot. Because sometimes it can really feel like, even if you hear it, it can really feel like you're one on your own in this like track to whatever your goal is. And it's always nice to hear people recognize what you do, because sometimes it feels like, damn, did I even do anything? Have I even like moved an inch from where I started? And then when I hear people say like, wow, you've done so much, I'm like, okay, so I've been cooking. I like that. So I really appreciate it.
No. So like my personal journey into learning who you were, I was watching I was going through like all these like just Blerd videos and things, and just trying to like look into those things. And then I found this channel where they was doing Reload My Room, right? And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I was like, who are these three Blerds like that are just, their story sounds amazing. And, much love to everybody in the episode, but you shine through that episode. And I was like, all right, so that's what I started off following you. Then I followed everybody else, but I was like, well, let me follow them and see what they're on and see who they're about. And around that time, that's when I was, I started doing, I wanted to do something for Black History Month. I was looking at all these companies, and I was like, every video that says, what does Black History Month mean to me, was ran by a white company. And I'm like, though it's cool because we need allies. I was like, why hasn't no Black company did one? So then my take on it was, well, why don't I reach out to the Blerd community? And then I reached out to you, and you were like, sure, yeah, I'm down, let's go. And I was like, yo, your energy was so dope. But I wanted to ask you, like, with the whole Reload My Room thing, how did that come about?
So I actually don't even remember, honestly. Oh, actually I do. One of our friends, his name is LJ, he's a streamer, and he was getting his room reloaded. And then he had mentioned us to them, because I think they were just looking for diversity, girl and women. And, so they were just like, Black women who are in gaming, who live together. That's such a unique angle. Let's reach out to them. So they reached out to us. They came in, interviewed us, and it's actually really funny. Like, I appreciate all the work that they did for us. I appreciate it. But when they were asking us what we wanted. We all kind of had similar tastes. We were like, oh, we just want something clean. We something, we want it white with some, a little nature, but heavily anime influence and stuff like that. So when we came in, you can't even see all the colors, but I feel like just knowing that there's yellow and green, there's blue and purple and pink, it was just like we were just so taken aback by it because it wasn't what we asked for. But we kind of like I'm used to it now. Like they gave me this, you can't see it, but they gave me a 6 set of
I know they did. I watched.
Oh yeah, you watched the episode. Yeah, you know. So it was just like, so like, whoa, whoa, kind of thing. But at the end of the day, I really appreciate everything they did for us. It definitely helped me. Like I'm even using the light. I got the headphones. I use all of it, so I'm very appreciative. It was just so funny. I was just like, this is what we asked for.
You hear that story about like a lot of those shows, like Pimp My Ride and all that stuff like that. It's like, but so you get that aspect of it. Like, okay, it's not going to be exactly what, but I guess you are the person actually experiencing it. It's a little bit different. Like, whoa, okay, I've heard stories about this, but
I've never been the one who got it. Yeah, it was crazy. It was so crazy.
But like the one thing I love about that, even just you being a part of that, and then just like everything, because like you work with plenty of brands and plenty companies, so it's dope to see you. It's just in different nerd and blurred spaces and stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, I'm popping up on this channel. Oh yeah, this channel, I'm doing this. Oh, this company's doing this nerd thing. Well, guess what? I'm doing that too. And,
I'll be there.
Right. Yeah. And so like I know for me, like I support this culture so much. So when I see individual people do certain things, I champion it like I've known you for my whole life, what I'm saying? So it's like I love seeing that when people are jumping into different nerd spaces and everything like that. But that collective, so all like, did you guys know each other before y'all moved in with each other? Like what was that like? How did that collective come about?
So how it worked is we were all going to meet at a convention. And there was a group chat on Instagram where we all met. And then eventually the group chat dwindled down to me, Becca, Taylor, and Izzy. So there's actually 4 of us. And we just talked all the time. It was probably it's been 2 years since we moved in together. So probably 3 years past that. We were just always talking online and stuff like that. Eventually, me and Becca went to go visit Taylor in Texas. We hung out. Everybody came for my birthday in California. So Becca was in New York. Taylor was in Texas. Everyone, so we, we met in person a couple times. We've been talking for a very long time. And then at one point we were just like, let's all get a place together. So then we all 3 got a place together. And here we are today, 2 years in.
That's dope. That's dope because like I said, with all of y'all being creators and all of you guys just working in the blurred space and everything, like it helps, especially that, that you guys have a streaming room or, things like that. So it kind of helps out where like you guys can do stuff. I know my collective at Geekset, we don't have a living space. We have this shared studio. So it's like we come here and do content with each other and everything. And it's so important when you're working like that, because you can, though with technology, you can make it work with people in different areas, but then you're constricted to, Zoom and only video content like that. Right. So you can't really do those creative because, you going to, graduating from college for your VFX, like that means that you are doing, live action stuff that you would want to film and not only just do this. So it's like, so I know that that's really dope. And, just also seeing your journey from, working with like King Vader and things like that. And then, working with all these creators. And then now you're doing your own show and What in the World, which is pretty much you being in web series, and just answering the number one nerd question. If you could be in any anime world, what would you be in?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that process and getting into that, like what was your inspiration that finally allowed you to launch that series?
So from the beginning, how this all started, my VFX journey, is one day King Vader had he was filming one of his Hood Naruto videos, and he was like, does anyone want to be in it? All this and that. I was like, oh wow, I want to do this. I DM'd him. I was like, I want to. He was like, do you have any Koski ropes? And I was like, yeah. I did not. I had to message a friend and be like, please, I need to borrow this for a video. So then I drove down and like I was just watching the process and everything like that. I was like, wow, you get paid to do you get paid to do this? Like, this is what you do. This is so much fun. Wow, this is so awesome. And at the time my major was sociology. So when I went back home, because I wasn't in LA at the time, I was in Temecula, which is about 2 hours away. I had got back home and I was like, I think I want to change my major. I think I want to change my life path kind of thing. So then I took this, I don't even remember what kind of class it was. It was kind of like this just After Effects class, trying to kind of just learning compositing and stuff like that. I took that class. I had a lot of fun. Like I was already like trying to figure out all these different types of, like it was just so creatively like amazing. I was just like, I want to do this. I just gonna do what I do now. So then my dad was moving to Texas because he had just retired, so my mom and dad were leaving. I was like, I don't want to go to Texas. What the heck am I gonna do in Texas? So I was like, I'm gonna move to LA and I'm gonna apply for this film school. So I started going to film school and it kind of just shot off from there. So then after I had graduated, not even after I had graduated, I had already had the idea for doing this web series because I was like, I don't see a lot of women, Black women, even women in general, I feel like that kind of do the live action anime thing that I've seen. You know, we have, RDC, we have Vader, and then we have I forgot Riven. I remember I watched his video. He did the My Hero Academia live action. I remember I watched his Naruto versus Rock Lee video when I was like in high school or college. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. But I don't see, women or Black women doing it. And I know we have so many ideas. And I even back when I was still at the school, me and my friend had the idea to do it, but we never finished it. So I was like, I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna just do it. And I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning it was really hard. I had originally had this idea back in last October. I had started like writing and stuff like that. I started filming and stuff like that. But I was so stuck on wanting it to be perfect. I was like, I want an intro. I want the intro to be perfect. I want to have these crazy scenes, blah, blah, this and that. And then I didn't touch it for a year because I was just so stuck on it being exactly how I saw it in my head. I was like, I can't move on because I can't do this one thing, blah, blah, blah. And then at one point I was just like, if you died tomorrow, this will never come out and you would live with regret for not finishing it. So the first episode I put out, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just take everything I have and I'm gonna just work with it. I'm gonna just do what I need to do, blah, blah, this and that. And I just edited it, put it together, and I was happy with it. I watched it like 20 times before I even posted it. I was pretty happy. And I put it out and I was like, wow, good job, me. Episode 2, let's go, So it was definitely a kind of letting go of the thought of having everything be perfect. I also realized that I can't do everything myself because I was, graduated with VFX. I wanted to do VFX. I wanted to edit it. I wanted to do the score and blah, blah, this and that. The first episode, oh my God, it was so much work. And that's why it took me such a long time. But now I'm just like, who wants to help me? Because this is hard. This is hard. Yeah. So I hope that answered your question. I don't know.
No, it did. No, it definitely did. But like, it's really dope to kind of see that process because I know as a creative, and once we start learning things, like you don't want one. It's also you're in your head, you're like, I don't want to bother anybody with my project.
Yeah,
and then two, you start thinking like, all right, I can't pay people like industry standards. So you're like, who's gonna really want to help me? But then you find out, like in this community and just in general, reaching out, there's people who also they may not have your vision of your idea, but they see the opportunity like, ooh, if I work with Krystal Shanelle, then this can help me out, build up my resume with this. I can build some cachet with some other people and everything. So like you start realizing that though your dream is not my monolithic dream, it's like we're not on the same dream, but what I'm doing can also help what you're doing. So let's work together. And there's more people that's willing to do that. So is there any people that you like hope to work with on that? On your show, like now that you got the first one out the wraps, now that your ideas can start flowing, is there any creators that you're like, ooh, you know what? I hope that I can eventually get this person to be in an episode or so.
I don't know, actually. I don't even think I've thought. Ooh, come on, Chris. Come on, Greg. I've thought that far yet with who I would want. I kind of like for the next episode. I know there's like a couple people I want to reach out to, but I don't know. Maybe I'll make RDC help me because I did Anime House with them and be like, y'all owe me. I did Anime House. Come to California and help me. But I don't really know. I would love to reach. I know there's just so many talented people in our community that I would love to help, because I've had friends who like, oh, Krystal, I'll come from Las Vegas and come help you film this. I'm like, oh my God, are you serious with that? Oh my God, so I've definitely had friends who have been like, Krystal, tell me anything you need, like I'll help you kind of thing. So I just feel like people have been very open to helping me. So I haven't thought, okay, who's next? You know what I mean? So I think when I get the episode, when I have them written, I'll be like, okay, who would be good for this? And then I'll be like, no.
Right.
I just feel like there's so many people. There's so many people I can reach out to. Because even when we were in the anime house, not anime house, the anime after dark, your specific episode, when we were talking about, what do we want to see change in the community, stuff like that. And me and Soul King have brought up like, I need people to get more spotlight shine on them because of how amazing they are. I'm going off topic. But
it's okay. No, keep on.
No, but I just feel like that is such a big thing, because I think I was talking, I don't know who I was talking to, but I was like, yep, there it goes. But I was talking to someone and I was like, I feel like I always see the same, and this isn't okay, it's not a bad thing, but I wanted to change. I always see the same creators doing the same kind of anime brands kind of thing, and there's so many people out there that do our work twice as our, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like, why don't you guys see them? What is going on, kind of thing. I don't know if it's maybe because they're not in LA, maybe they haven't connected with the right people. But I've like reached out to certain people and I'm like, bro, if you need anything, please let me know, because I need you. You do such great work. I need you to go up there. It's crazy.
Well, see, that's one of the reasons, like that's what I realized about our platform, and one of the reasons why I reached out to you, and I do reach out to the community, is because my goal is I want Geekset to be the reporters of the culture, right? Like, because there's so many people, like, though we are in it and we're content creators, like I would love to do some, anime house and work with King Vader as well in general. But also I'm like, King Vader's doing amazing things with Netflix, but I'm not seeing as many interviews that I thought. You have been doing so much stuff in this Blerd space, and I literally had to really dig to find more about you. And I'm like, why are not more people highlighting what Krystal is doing, or like, there's so many of us that are doing it. So like, I love being able to do that. And I was just in my group chat telling the rest of my team, like, look, we are about to have the first in-depth interview about Krystal Shanelle. I'm so excited about that, because it's like now, like because I want people, like, if my viewers and people, if they don't know who you are, to be like, oh shit, let me go check out who Krystal is now. Or people who's like, all right, I want to know who's in the Blerd community. Like, like that first time when you found your tribe, it's like now you're doing research trying to find everybody within it. So it's like, now I want people to be like, all right, well, I know Geekset is going to have some people that I need to know. So let me go see who Geekset interview. Like, I want that for a Geekset, because then it can help do exactly what you're looking for, shedding light. One of my favorite episodes that I most recently did, and I met Wreck-It Ronnie at DreamsCon. And oh my God, Wreck-It Ronnie's so amazing.
He's great.
And I had the first in-depth Wreck-It Ronnie story, and that episode did so amazing. And so many of my fan base was like, yo, oh wow, she seems so dope. I gotta follow her, I gotta check her out. And so it's like it is that. So because I like to dive deep into people's Blerd origin story, I wanted to know, like, what was the moment that you felt like you found your tribe in Blerd culture?
I think it might have been, so I have a really, really bad memory, so I don't remember a lot, but I think something that kind of made me like feel very just in there was one time I was going back and forth with some guy on Twitter, and he was saying, oh, Naruto isn't a real anime, that doesn't count, blah blah, this and that. And I was like, you sound ridiculous. And like I was having this open conversation on Twitter, and then so many people were like, yeah, he's crazy, blah, blah, blah. Like, what are you talking about? And it was just like, wow, this is a great sense of community coming together to fight this evil, blah, blah, blah. I think that was kind of where I was like, wow, like this is pretty cool. Having everyone come together. And I think more though, when Twitter Spaces came out, and everyone was starting to be able to talk in groups, or Twitter Spaces.
Yeah.
I think that was when I really, really saw, because I feel like the anime community on Twitter, it It was everywhere. There
Yeah.
was just a lot going on. But I really felt like when Twitter Spaces came together, it really brought the community closer together, and people were able to talk and have a conversation.
Mhm.
And you were able to, find community, like even little sub communities within the bigger community that even helped you, like, find people and stuff like that. Because
Yeah.
now when I go on Twitter Spaces, everyone got their own little thing going on. I'm like, wow, and we're all under one big thing. So I think Twitter Spaces really, really helped in that sense. Yeah, I don't know how I answered your question, but I hope I
you're
did it somehow.
you're doing perfect, man. Just like you're definitely doing perfect, because I agree the same way. Like once I found out about the Blerd community, because like I said, we've all enjoyed anime, comic books, video games, all that, right? And then when you find out about the term Blerd, like I remember it was like like a little bit after when we started our podcast, because the reason why I started this podcast is that I'm a fan of all things geek and nerdy, right? So like I will watch all these other podcasts and channels, and though I love them for like the information that they was given and stuff like that, the one thing that I always was like, I was like, dang, they don't sound like us. Like they're not saying, you know what I'm saying? Like they ain't saying the things. Like I'm not hearing somebody saying, hey, that shit's gas, or you know what I'm saying? That, like I'm not hearing people, equating Piccolo to being black. Like
they don't get it. They don't get it.
They don't get it, right? So I was like, we wanted to start that, because also it's that barbershop talk. Because we've been in spaces when we debating, like even if somebody brings up the big three, to the outside looking in, they'd be like, "Oh shit, are they about to fight?" But but it's just how we talk. If you like, man, One Piece is it, I'm like, Krystal, man, you bullshitting, man. No,
I was like, bro, shut up. What are you talking? Yeah, nah. 100%. I always think if people ever came into like our spaces when we're arguing, they'd be like, what is going on? I need to report this space. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun, and I just sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, but I love now how once you find people who understand how you talk, it's just so much fun. So just like keep the banter going back and forth. It's just so much fun. So yeah, definitely finding people who are able to, who are like you in the community is just it makes it so much more enjoyable. I love it.
Yeah, because that's another thing that I love about it, is like once you meet everybody, like mostly everybody met either online or in the Twitter space. So then when we have events like DreamCon or AWA that's coming up, or just like where we all get, like, I love the fact that also everybody's like, hey, okay, we're gonna do like a quick meetup, or we're gonna do like a kickback real quick, just so we can vibe, and then everybody gets together, and then it's like it's so cool, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like damn, we legit friends. But like we like this is our first time meeting, but we knew so much about each other already, and so like, and then even just seeing everybody on their creative path, right? Because then you start seeing a different, zone. Because like you said, I did that one video with you on the Black History Month, which I was super excited for. But then I interviewed you at DreamCon, right? But it was like now, but you're seeing a different side of people, because obviously it's like now we're working, but let's get down to the brass tacks of what we're supposed to be talking about. And so it's like you love seeing that, because now it's like, oh man, it's like full circle. It's truly like working with like your friends, or working with a school. I had the pleasure of interviewing Laz Alonso, right? Mother's Milking the Boys.
Yes.
He went to an HBCU, and I always said one of my biggest regrets was not going to an HBCU, right?
Same.
Yep.
Same. But I don't know who. I would be a different person probably.
So let me change your perspective on something, because this is what he told me. He said, because I told him, I said, I love it for like the friendship, the business connections, the morals and everything. And he said, because he identifies as a Blerd as well, he said, look, I get that. He was like, I get that, but he's like, but you got to also remember, he was like, the HBCU and everything that's about it, it's just a community of individuals that's looking to help each other and uplift. He said, within the Blerd community, he said, this is your HBCU. He said, because you got to think about it. He said, when you look at the people that's within it, right, we protect it. If there's anything toxic or anything that's going on, we address it. But also, like, just like you said, there's people like, hey, I'll come out from Vegas to help you out. And it is that. And then it's the connection. It's like, if you get a brand deal or somebody comes to you and you're like, dang, I don't really know if this is a good deal or not. You have people within this industry that you can reach out to and say, hey, I need your advice. Even when I started on my voice acting work, there's two people that I reached out to. The Blerd girl and Fantastic Frank.
The goats.
And then and also Jamie Gray. You know what I'm saying? And she's in Miraculous. She's a voice actress as well. But it was like, and I was like, hey, I just want to ask you guys some advice. They gave me a little bit of advice and everything, but I was like, yo, I get it. Like, this is the HBCU because we wear that Blerd name with a badge. It's like, you know, and it's something that we protect. So it's like, it did change my perspective of some things. Like, though I missed out on doing the HBCU, I found what I was looking for in that within this community.
Houston. Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So
I didn't even know he was a Blerd. That's so cool. Wow.
Yeah, but see, that's another reason why when I interview celebrities, I don't really even talk heavily about what they're working on. I give them an opportunity to geek out. You know, as I said on the Anime After Dark, one of my favorite interviews was when I interviewed Jay Ellis, because I interviewed him during the height of Insecure. And so everybody, of course, was going to talk about that last season of Insecure, but me and him, all we talked about was his love for DC, how he loves Blue Beetle, and he would love to play Blue Beetle. For real? Like, and to me, I was like, oh, so you really a nerd, because you know, most people, most celebrities, you say, hey, you like superheroes, they're gonna name like Captain America, Iron Man, and though that's Batman. Right, that's a-okay. But if you pulling out Blue Beetle, oh, you in the trenches with us, like so it's like, it was dope to see that, you know, it was dope. And then so when I realized that now that's my drive. I try to get people who, like, now obviously everybody knows your nerd fandoms, but if people didn't, I like having that platform where people's like, oh snap, I didn't know such and such, like just how you said, I didn't know Laz Alonso was right. Would have never thought at all. Yeah. So what has been the biggest thing that shocked you about your journey in general, like where you're at right now?
You said shocked me?
Yeah, that shocked you. Like that now that you, like, if you told 10-year-old Krystal about that, 10-year-old Krystal would lose her mind.
That I'm watching One Piece. That I caught up to One Piece. Probably that. I remember I told myself, I'm never gonna watch that. I'm never watching that. That is so long. Blah, blah. And I'd even go back to like tweets I made like 5 years ago. And I'm like, I got the time to watch One Piece. Here I am, caught up. Look at me. Crazy. But I'm happy. I love it though. But probably that. Maybe even that I'm creating something that mirrors what I was so in love with, that I'm still in love with. That's pretty cool too. I think maybe that I also still like anime. I don't know, because I feel like I remember I had one point in, I think it was high school or middle school, and I had an Attack on Titan poster looking on my wall, and I was just looking at it. I was like, am I gonna be into this forever? Like, I literally remember distinctly saying that, and here I am today. You know, it's what I do for work, so it all worked out. It all worked out in the end.
So speaking of like back in that day and having that Attack on Titan poster, so you've told this story a while, but like, you know, one of the things that got you into anime is your mom used to buy you the Shonen Jump, and it got you into Naruto, it's the first anime and everything. Do you still have that Shonen Jump episode, like issue? Do you remember it?
They were library copies. So I had to return them. Yeah, so they were in my for real, but I had to return them. I don't have anything, but I do have, and when I was in elementary school, there was a girl who used to draw like Naruto and Sasuke and stuff like that. And I remember this so vividly. I remember one time at lunch, I wanted it so badly. Like, I was like, oh, can I have your drawing? And she's like, no. I started crying. And she was like, fine, take it all. And she gave me her entire folder of all of her little anime drawings. Yeah, I guilt tripped her for it, but I got it though. And so I still have it. Like, and then I remember even trying to draw my own. I tried drawing like little comics and stuff like that. I have this like body length Naruto that I drew that was like, watch Naruto on Cartoon Network at channel 61 at 9 p.m. or something like that. So I have all the drawings. I don't have any of the like comics, manga, and shonen. I wish I did though. I wish I did.
Do you remember the issue? Because like I feel like that's also something that should be a relic of yours.
I don't know. I remember I went on eBay trying to just find like the first volume that Naruto came out in Shonen Jump. But
they probably charging an arm and a leg.
Disgusting. But I don't know. I could not tell you the specific one. I wish I knew.
Everybody has the stereotypical on what a black geek is. Are you familiar with the term blerd?
Blerd, no.
Right. Some people said it came off of Scrubs. Some people said it came off the internet. I don't honestly really know.
Don't you see the skin, the eyebrows, the hair?
Yo, white geeks still rock, you know what I'm saying, Dunks or Jordans or whatever.
Did I do that?
It's exciting. It's like, holy, oh, my dog is gonna start barking.
It's all right.
She's excited about it too.
And same as you said, like a barbershop talk, like we would go into really in-depth conversations about these theories and like, well, what if and how come?
It's not unusual to be loved.
Right, but we talk about anime, video games, comic books and stuff like that, but when you hear us talk about it, the passion sounds like we arguing Jordan and Bron.
What do you mean? What does that even mean? What does that even mean?
Like, it sounds like barbershop talk.
Because you don't know the history, don't mean it ain't happened, dog.
You broke that down right there.
But when you see the Black Geek, you don't see that. You see the socially awkward glasses. Well, this is me. And that's not a lot of us. A lot of us do sound and talk like us. You know what I'm saying?
Because it becomes stereotypical, as if that's where our strength comes from.
I don't know the geek that you talked about before. I know the geek you're talking about right now, though.
It was sort of a call sign so we could find each other on message boards.
Anime gives you life lessons throughout that whole thing. Like, there's not one anime that I know of that doesn't teach you to never give up.
It's just like, I just love seeing us go into the world and go into these different spaces and create things that weren't there before.
And then it was like Miles Morales is like the normal, Black person in the United States.
That was my first Blerd moment, was seeing, Storm on the X-Men cartoon series. And I was like, wow, that's a Black woman and she's strong, she's powerful.
That's what I want for us. I want us to be that voice.
I'm just waiting for the first one.
The girl who drew the picture, have you reached out back to her? Have you seen her again?
No, I know exactly. Her name is Aisha. Aisha, if you see this, I'm so sorry. But no, I haven't. We're still Facebook friends. I eventually want to be like, hey, remember that one time in elementary school?
You definitely should. That's because that's an amazing story. Just even in general, like you were that passionate about Naruto that you really wanted a picture that somebody else drew.
Please give it to me. It was so funny. I was like, oh my God, what is wrong with you?
So, just back to what in the world?
Yes.
Is there anything that you can tell us about what world you're going to be jumping into, or like?
Oh yeah. So for this episode, it is going to be a horror thriller kind of thing. At first, I wanted to do Junji Ito. I really wanted to do Uzumaki. I really wanted to, and the only problem I had with it was that I try and stay in one, because with Junji Ito, he has multiple books and not. And I wanted to call back to Tomi and her face changing, but I also wanted to do Uzumaki because I really like the whole spiral thing, and there's also an anime that's coming out for it. Right. But I was having a really hard time connecting everything, and then I have a month to do every episode. So then I was like, these VFX are gonna be crazy. Let me put this one back in the bag, and let me come back to this one later because I really want to be practical. I think a problem that I also had was I would try to overshoot what I can do.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my biggest problem. And there's not a problem with it, but I really wanted to work within my means. So even when I was talking to my roommate Taylor, I was like, yeah, Taylor, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. She's like, Krystal, you got a month. Are you gonna be able to do all this? And she knows me, so I'm just like, you're right. Let me do something a little bit more practical. So I'm doing this show. I watched the entirety. No, actually, I couldn't watch the entirety because it was so crazy. But Higurashi, When They Cry, I had went on Twitter and I was like, what's the scariest anime? Blah, this and that. People were telling me, this. And then I saw Higurashi. And I was like, okay, this should be quick. I was watching it. It's not quick. It's 3 seasons. It was not quick. It was not easy. I think I got the first and a half season. But literally within the first 6 episodes, not even 6, the first 5 episodes, you basically get a whole mini story. The way it is, it's like a time travel anime. But people die. I'm trying to talk and not ruin it, but I feel like I kind of just did.
I think I already know what it is.
Yeah, so it's very heavy, like Tokyo Revengers kind of thing. It's very heavy like that. So I literally within the first, if anyone watch Higurashi When They Cry, first 4 or 5 episodes, you literally get an entire story. And so I'm basing that episode off of that. Today is my last filming day, and then for the rest of the month for October, before the 31st, which I'm going to be posting, I'm going to be just in my little room editing and this and that. And so I'm very excited to see how it comes out. I got a lot of help. I have a lot more people who came to help me act in it. And so I'm very, very excited. And for next month, I'm so excited. I'm doing a romance something. It might be psychological. I don't know. I can't do this romance. I gotta make it crazy. Right. I gotta make it be like, what is going on inside Chris's head? Like, what the heck? Why did she write this kind of thing? So I'm very, very excited for that.
Okay, awesome. I'm excited for that. All right. So I got a couple of fan questions. One, somebody wants to know. Fan questions. Oh my God. Yeah, I do. We put it on our Patreon. So, why did you drop the name King Krystal?
To be honest, a lot of people were calling me King, like just saying like, oh, King, oh yeah, King. And I don't know, I was like I really rocked with the name. Like the name was clean. I was like, I don't know, it's just like King, like I don't know what it was. It was just something that's always been called King. I was like, I appreciate it. I don't know. That's pretty high up there. I don't know. I don't know, but I really rock with the name too. And then also it was really akin to King Vader, and I was like, I love him, but let me think something else. And so Krystal Shanelle is actually like, I really like that name because I feel like it's just very close to me because it's literally my name. It's just like the entirety of my name, and I don't know. I just like Krystal Shanelle. Like that. I think that was also my first username on Instagram too that I had. So I was like, I want to go back to that.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. What is your favorite platform that you're on?
I really like Twitter. Twitter is so much fun. Yeah. It gets toxic. It really does. Toxic and Twitter is two different things. The two same things. But definitely Twitter. I love how much you can talk to people. On Instagram, it's comments and DMs. Yeah. And it's like comments under specific posts, not as interactive. TikTok is what TikTok is. I don't know, but definitely Twitter. You got spaces. You got even Twitter communities. You got, what else is it? You just got I don't know. You just have so many different conversations, and I love when I ask oh, would you rather I do this or this? And then the replies under it is so funny. Like when I did the, would you rather be in DC or Justice League? And people were saying, well, I don't know. I don't need Batman being an op and the Avengers and I'd rather be with X-Men, blah, blah, this and that. It's just so funny. And then using GIFs and videos and reaction memes, that's just so much fun. I love it.
Yeah, no, Twitter's been my favorite, especially like I said, in those spaces when you hit the hashtag and just seeing how people are reacting to everything.
Yeah, it's so much
that
fun.
Is the, because that's one of the things that, also what made Anime After Dark at DreamCon amazing because they had that big screen.
That was so much fun.
And you causing chaos.
I'd be myself. I had to do what I had to do.
All right, so we have a game that we call, it's called Hypotheticals. Now, we do it on our podcast. You're actually going to be my second person that I'm doing it with in my interviews. Okay, right? Okay. So the first hypothetical that we go over. Now, this is something that first thing first, it depends off of your answer.
Okay.
There's 3 different apocalypse. We have the robot apocalypse, the zombie apocalypse, and the alien apocalypse. Which apocalypse do you believe that you would last in the longest?
Zombie apocalypse.
Definitely. Zombie apocalypse. Okay. All right. God. So now the subtopic within it is we have Resident Evil zombies. All right. We have Walking Dead zombies. And then we have the World War Z, sprinting at you zombies. Right. So in the Resident Evil world, how long do you believe that you would last?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never played Resident Evil, so I don't even know what.
So these zombies can be anything, can be zombified. A dog, and they mutate. So meaning like it could be a dog, it could be a deer, it could be a bat. The regular zombies, there's regular.
It could be an ant. Could it be spiders?
Yep.
Absolutely not.
So it could be a regular zombie, but also there's zombies that mutate that turn super big and huge and have super strength. So in that type of zombie world, how long you believe you will last?
See, sometimes we get bugs in here. So I don't know how. Nah, maybe a month, maybe a month.
Okay.
Look, an ant.
Hey, that's longer. That's longer than I gave myself. I said in that because there's also a big boss named Nemesis who runs around with like a big machine gun and like once he sees
he's a zombie and he's got a machine gun.
Once he sees you, he's on you. Like no matter where you go in the world, he's dead set on finding you. And
I just feel like I said a month because I could keep myself locked in the house for a month.
Right.
And I would run out of food. And I feel like as soon as I step outside the house, it's over.
All right. So now Walking Dead zombies. So that's the regular traditional walking zombies. How long do you give yourself?
I could do that. I could probably live forever, honestly. Not forever, but like I feel like I could I would give myself like 5 years. I feel like I'd be pretty solid.
That's the roundabout the same I said. My only caveat about the apocalyptic world in general is I'm not confident in my skill sets. I believe I can make fire, but I've never ever had to make fire.
Never in my
I don't know how to hot wire a car.
I'll be on YouTube trying to watch it.
I feel like I can pitch a tent properly, but I never really had to. But I was like, I would be a good soldier. Like you tell me, like you need me to do something, I'm down. Let's go.
I feel like if I just find the right group, I'm good.
Right.
If I find the right group, I'm good.
All right. So the World War Z zombies, the ones that sprint at you. I'm talking about.
But I feel like the Resident Evil zombies are worse than the World War Z zombies. So but I can't run like that. I'm trying to think. I still feel like if I just keep myself trapped in the house, I don't know. I'm gonna give myself 2 months with them. Okay. I feel like I can last a bit longer. Resident Evil, everyone's your enemy. The bugs, I'm just thinking about bugs. Think about like a fly, like you see a fly and then come straight. Nah, I'll be out.
All right. So last question within this hypothetical.
Yes.
You go out with your group. All right. So usually what like the group is like, so the people that's around you. So you have your group around you and everything.
Right.
A couple of people in your neighborhood's part of your group.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all go out on try to get a food hunt. Mm-hmm. You get bit. Nobody sees it. Are you telling the group?
So after we all went through COVID, when you be trying to hold that coffin, I can't let them know. I think for the beginning half, I'd be like, maybe I'm strong enough. Maybe I can beat this. Maybe I can fight this. But I think as soon as I start seeing my veins turn black, I'm be like, hey, I gotta let y'all know. I don't want to have to be the one. And then like y'all go like keep me on a leash until they kind of cure. Like in I Am Legends, like don't kill me.
Right.
I don't know.
All right. That's been our apocalyptic hypothetical. So our last segment that we got top 5. Now I'm not going to do dirty and actually top 5 animes because I know that always is the controversy one with that. Mm-hmm. But I do want to know. Now this is a personal one for you. Top 5 cosplays that you've done.
I already know my number 1. Well, I'll start from the bottom. So I would say number 5, maybe my Adventure Time Finn one.
Oh, I like that one.
I love that one. I love Finn. Number 4, I really like the Miracle cosplay I did. It was very clean. Mm-hmm. Number 3, I liked my Raven cosplay. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Number 2, I feel like I'm missing one. I already know my number 1, but I feel like there's another one that I'm missing that I don't know. But I'm gonna say number 2 is it's not really a Luffy cosplay, but I really just like put on a little red top and a little hat and just put it around.
You know what's funny? I think the image that most people view you is either the Luffy or the Sakura. Like I feel like that's like
I forgot about her. Oh my god. But I think I equate to how much I enjoy it and as how much fun I have in it, kind of thing, like running around. Like the Sakura one was cool. Actually, the Sakura was cool. But let me. I'm gonna take out. What did I say? I'm gonna take out Miracle. Ooh.
Okay.
Wait, no. I'm gonna take out. I'm gonna take out Miracle because I can't really run around in that Miracle fit because One Piece got crazy, and I'm gonna put in Sakura. And then, but my number one is my Damian Wayne cosplay.
Hey, that Damian Wayne's out there.
Yeah,
I'm loving that. Is that the first one that you like really constructed? Because didn't you like put that together?
I personally didn't. So
but I mean you work with somebody. Like that's the one that got put together.
Yeah, that was like what is it called? Like custom fit. Like we designed it and everything. Oh my gosh, this is my baby. I love that fit so much. Like I want to wear the top just around.
The one that you didn't mention that is there for me. No. So the reason why is that I always love what I like to call like the Afrocentric cosplay, right? Your hair is amazing. It always stands out. But where it really shined was your Miles Morales cosplay. And I seen that image somewhere, and I was just like, "Yo, this looks so dope." And I mean, you're a Black woman, your hair is flourishing. Like it was just amazing. That was one of my top ones.
Thank you, I appreciate that. You know what else that one reminds me of? I did a little Kuwabara one because I wore Nami Ware's tracksuit. They have the Kuwabara, and I just took my hair and put in like a little mohawk afro thing, and that was clean. That was a clean fit actually. That one, shout out Nami Ware for that suit. Because that was clean. Yeah.
All right. So another top 5.
Yes.
Top 5 conventions that you've been to.
Ooh, okay. Have I even been to 5? Wait. Yeah, I have. Okay. Number 5. Dang, I don't even know if I can start at number 5. Number 5 is wait. 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't even think of a 5th one. Anime Pasadena. I don't know. I can't really think. It's a smaller con in Pasadena. I'm gonna just say that one because I can't think of any other ones. My 4th one would probably be dang, this is crazy. Oh no, they're all good. Actually no. 5th is San Diego Comic-Con.
Okay.
4th, I'm gonna say Anime Expo.
Ooh.
3rd, I'm gonna say Anime NYC. 2nd, I'm gonna say DreamCon. No. Yes. 1st, I'm gonna say New York Comic Con.
Okay.
I was very DreamCon and Anime NYC are very interchangeable only because I'm thinking about the community. I didn't know there was that many Black people going to be at Anime NYC. It was crazy. Man, I did not think that there was going to be that many Black people.
We were supposed to go. We was waiting because we wanted to continue the documentary filming there, and they denied our press pass. That's the only reason why we didn't go. Because right now, based off of income and everything, we're only trying to go to cons that we got the press. So
Understandable.
I understand.
I understand totally. I think for Anime NYC and DreamCon, it's definitely the community that makes the con for me. That really like makes me like enjoy it so much. And definitely like seeing people's panels, and those are so much fun. But I don't know, New York Comic Con was just so much fun. I think it was mainly because now that I really understand a lot about DC. Seeing all these DC cosplays was so much fun. And there was just like, because at San Diego Comic-Con, they didn't have anything DC. I think that's when HBO Max was doing that like Warner merger, so they didn't really have a lot of activations for DC. But anime, oh my God, New York Comic-Con had so much DC stuff. I was like, this is so much fun. Oh my God. And like, I had my Damien fit. But I was like missing the hood. I was just really basic with it. But I was like, next year I'm coming every day. I'm gonna be Nightwing. I'm gonna be Red Hood. I'm gonna be all around. Oh my God, it was so much fun.
If you ever do anything with it, I want to let you know. I wore it partially at DreamCon, but then Southwest they cracked my mask. But I have a Deathstroke cosplay. So if you ever need a Deathstroke.
Oh my God! Yes, yeah. I got you on that one.
All right. So the last segment that we have, which was mostly nerds' favorite, is a recommendation, something that you're watching, reading, or listening to, but something that you think our listeners and viewers should check out.
So the last thing I watched was Bleach, or the last thing I consumed in media was Bleach because I like read through it just so I could watch the first episode. I would recommend it. It's cool, but my bread and butter, my number one. My number one would have to be One Piece. I don't know. I understand the anime. I was so confused. I was like, why do people not like One Piece so much? Besides episodes. But then when I was watching it and I got to the Fisherman arc, I was like, oh my God, this is taking so long. Yo, they were fighting for like 20 episodes. I was like, oh my God, no. Oh, bro, it broke me. It broke me. So I stopped watching for a couple months. And then I came back. I was like, okay, I'm for Luffy, Pirate King. I'm in here. I'm locked in. We got to Thriller Bark. People started telling me, yeah, that's one of the slowest arcs. I said, no. I said, no, I don't even have my manga. Let me pick up the manga real quick. I binged it. I binged the manga. Manga was great. Manga was great. I loved it so much. And then I would go back and watch like just certain fight scenes. So like in Wano, and then the animation got crazy in Wano. Suddenly they were like, you know what? One Piece is pretty good. Let's put more money in it. I was like, what the hell? So then I started I would just like watch certain fights, and it was great. I feel like, in my humble personal opinion, the best way to consume One Piece is to read it and then watch the fight scenes that you are interested in. Because I know there's one fight scene in Whole Cake between Luffy and this character named Katakuri. Someone told me that it took them 26 weeks for one fight. That's almost a year.
Whoa, that's a lot. That's long.
Well,
but you know what? I think so one of the things, I agree, they have those long arcs and everything like that. But it also, like, when it's good and it's that long, you really feel it. Because my disdain for Doflamingo is solely based off of the anime. Because I'm like, I'm seeing how despicable he is. But we've been in this fight for so long, and he's just keep on doing despicable things. Like, he's high up on my villain list. And I feel like a lot of people who didn't watch One Piece, they don't really understand how devious this guy is. Like, he killed the town with the town's king and the town's guards, and then like
I would say he's definitely the worst villain in One Piece. I think like him and Blackbeard, like we haven't really seen Blackbeard do anything, but definitely Doflamingo is probably the worst villain. And I remember someone came in my space and they were like, I'm misconstruing his words, but this is basically what he said. He was like, I just feel like we need to understand Doflamingo. I was like, understand? Right. Look at him.
Like one of the things that he enacted was he created a place that turns you into a toy, but that's not even it. You get turned to a toy and your family forget who you are. Like, bro, this is despicable.
And he was a part of I don't know, in Wano, sorry. Spoilers for Wano.
They know.
Okay. He was helping Kaido create that little smile thing. I have those people. Oh, I can't cry. I can only smile. You're sick. You're a sick man.
Sick individual, man.
But I loved his arc and meeting Corazon and Law. I loved that. It was so good. It was so good. Can I ask you a top 5? Oh, keep going.
I was going to say, when I met Law, at first I was like, I don't want to like this character, but then I was like, I like Law.
I was like, I'm gonna be the only person who doesn't like Law. Everyone loves him. And then I was watching. I was like, I want to ask you, what are your top 5 backstories in One Piece?
All right.
I believe
I'm gonna start with number 1 because Nami's backstory is one of my favorites.
Okay.
I just like just with everything. Like, she was like, she has a whole reason why she's doing so much stuff, and even why she acts the way she acts. So I love hers. But
yeah, it's hard, huh?
Yeah, it is. I like Tony Chopper's. I'm not gonna put mine in order. Can I not?
Okay. Do what you're actually no, you have to put it in order because I have to do mine in order. Okay. Yeah, it comes in exchange.
Okay. All right. So then 5 is going to be Sanji's.
Okay. Oh yeah. And then when they gave you that second backstory, I was like, oh no, please.
Yep. Let's see. 4 is going to be why am I blanking on his name? The skeleton.
Brooke. Yeah.
4 is going to be Brooke.
Brooks was crazy. Brooke gave us that song though, so it was kind of worth it. It was kind of worth it.
Hey, And I even love his like relationship with the well and everything. Like I like it just,
yeah.
Yeah, you know, because when it came full circle, I was like, what? 3 is going to be Luffy's.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Because I mean, listen here. Next to, I know you're gonna hate it, but next to Z Fighters, Straw Hat Pirates are my second favorite crew. I have a nostalgic love for the Z Fighters.
I understand. I won't get mad. It's fine. It's fine.
And then Zoro, and then Nami.
Zoro.
Hey, listen, I'm not here for. I know everybody keep on trying to make Zoro seem like he's racist and everything.
No, not that. I'm saying I feel like we don't really have a Zoro backstory. I feel like Zoro hasn't had his time to shine where we see his backstory. I'm sorry, I said that. The way I said that was kind of crazy.
That's okay. No, that's what it's up.
No, yeah, I know, but I just think we don't know. I feel like we don't really know. All we really know is that his little friend died. That's all we really know about him.
You're right. You know what? No, I'm gonna change it. What
about Robin? You don't mess with Robin? What about Frankie?
So I was leaning towards Frankie, but dang, yeah, you know what? Okay.
Yeah. You know, but do what your heart says. Do what your heart says.
I'm going Robin. I am going
Robin's was crazy.
Robin's is crazy. Robin is crazy. Yeah, Nami and Robin is my 1-2.
Yeah, when I first watched it, it was kind of hard because so many people were like, man, you're gonna lose it when you watch Robin's blah blah. So it's already kind of like desensitized to it. But then when they had that moment where Robin was like, they were taking her mom away, and then Robin was like, "Don't you remember me, Mom?"
Yeah,
I was like
and I also was thinking like, dang, I also forgot about Sabo. I like Sabo's story.
Sabo's was solid. Sabo's
but I also equated all to like Luffy, Sabo, Ace. Like I just like that their story.
They're all intricate.
Yeah, and their backstory is just
They're all together. They're all one team.
So where can my people find you at, and what would you like them to support you on?
Hello, people. You can find me at Krystal Shanelle, and on Instagram it's 2 E's because I couldn't get the full name, but whatever. It's Krystal Shanelle. It'll pop up. And you can support me. You can really, really support me with this web series. I'm very, very excited to see where it's going to become. Hopefully, at the very end of it, I can release a little movie at DreamCon or at any of these conventions. I'm very, very excited. It's on YouTube. I'm gonna put it, Instagram, Twitter, but on YouTube, really, really appreciate it if you guys support me. And yeah, support me by loving yourself. Also, let's start there. How can you love me when you don't love? Anyway, that was going somewhere I didn't need to go. But yeah.
All right. Well, this has been 101 with Deuces. I've been your boy Deuces. This has been the most amazing energy spirit, Krystal Shanelle, and we are out. Peace.
Bye.